Good day, Christmas coasters. I'm Unsilent, and we're on the air with Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. Yes, it's the hidden, well, not hidden, lost mission, lost part of a mission from Half-Life 2. Supposed to be in Highway 17, that chapter of Half-Life 2. Of course, you can always catch the Half-Life 2 playlist, the whole LP, card in the top right, and description down below, and all that stuff. So yes, for this year's Christmas special, we're doing a little bit of Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. And I was going to say, I'm sorry, because I have a terrible memory. I forgot to. I think I was at least one of you, but I think there was a few of you who suggested, hey, turn on the audio commentary as part of it. It's not going to spoil anything. Might slow you down a bit, but hey.
Hi, this is Gabe Newell, and welcome to the Lost Coast. In this tour, we're going to be talking about a new graphics technology we've been developing called High Dynamic Range, or HDR. We'll also be giving you some insight into the design and production challenges we faced during the construction of the Lost Coast. First, a quick explanation of the commentary system. To listen to a commentary node, put your crosshair over the floating commentary symbol and press your Use key. To stop the commentary, put your crosshair over the rotating node and press your Use key again. Some commentary nodes may take control of the game for the purpose of showing something to you. In these cases, simply pressing your Use key will stop the commentary.
Yeah, well, thank you. Actually hear from Gaben. Oh, we got some metal traps, not the usual milk crates. I do have the HDR on. Ooh, look at that. The reflection of the damned... That's fantastic. Oh, it's maybe a bit too much for my computer to handle. Is the HDRs, you have a little bit of flickering. Oh, that's entirely closed. Like a lobster trap or something.
When the art team started to think about a location that would demonstrate the power of HDR, a beach was one of the first choices we made. The visual relationship between the sky, the water, and the rocks is something we could not achieve without HDR. In order for high dynamic range to correctly simulate the light's interaction with the surfaces around you, like these wet rocks, we needed more precise information about the surfaces than we've had in the past. And now going forward, we're modeling textures in 3D packages to ensure that the physical information encoded in the texture allows HDR to correctly bounce light off the surface. We also designed the colors and values of each surface to ensure they will be correct across all exposure levels.
That's neat, okay. Because you can see sort of some of the light reflecting there, and very bright light there. And even some of it coming in off of the, when it's not going horribly pear-shaped, coming in onto the wet ground and off the water as well. That looks cool, actually.
With conventional rendering, seen here on the left, if something on the screen is 20% reflective, like the wet sand, then the maximum reflected brightness could only be 20% of the maximum brightness of your monitor. HDR's more accurate simulation of light ensures that the sun's reflection on this wet sand appears as it would in the real world, which could potentially use 100% of the maximum monitor brightness. HDR uses bloom to simulate light that is beyond 100% of a monitor's maximum brightness.
Oh, cool. Okay. That was actually, I like that side-by-side comparison, right? Now, I assume you get a story bit here in the commentary.
The process of building characters in Half-Life 2 taught us many things. By the end, we believed we'd figured out a more effective process for designing and constructing characters. This fisherman is the first character we built using that process. Design-wise, the fisherman was focused on showcasing HDR and the way light falls on human skin. The highlights on his forehead and nose are good examples of specularity on human skin. You can see how the wrinkles on his cheeks and around his eyes are an example of how we can use normal maps to add depth. Production-wise, the fisherman was built using a similar process to the rocks you saw on the beach. We model the 3D character at a very high detail, then extract much of the physical information and store it in the textures.
I will say one thing, though. 2, 3. That was 5. We are missing one. We are missing a commentary. Oh, here's a boat. The boat that they've actually modeled quite well. This, I think, only came out, a year after? I think it's 2005. Oh, we can punt the boat. I don't think we can rescue the boat. Can we rescue the boat? We can rescue the boat. There we go, we can rescue the boat. There's something over there? Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah. Oh, look! There's a beached ship. I know it's not exactly uncommon, but this is a lot more detailed beached ship than we typically would get. Oh, thank you. I'll take the Magnum. Oh, yeah, see, I was right. There was another commentary over here.
The remains of the ship in front of you were once part of a puzzle we cut out of the Lost Coast. The original design of the puzzle was based on the idea of the player and the fisherman cooperating together to solve something. This was the type of puzzle we'd always wanted to attempt in Half-Life 2. Unfortunately, as development on Lost Coast neared the end, and this puzzle still wasn't finished, we decided to cut it. It's always painful to remove work, so we've tried to evolve a process for making those kinds of decisions. For example, with this puzzle we asked ourselves, is this puzzle actually fun? If not, how much work does it need to be fun? Does this puzzle fit within the purpose of Lost Coast? Would our customers appreciate this puzzle being finished more than they would appreciate, say, soldiers rappelling off the cliffside? In the end, it made more sense to put this problem on the shelf with other interesting ideas and come back to it later.
Okay, soldiers rappelling off the cliffside. I know I should focus on hey, they were looking at, oh, a hook. They were, talking about, like, be interesting to see how, like, you know, a puzzle that involves you cooperating with the AI, do you, like, order him around, or does he kind of do something he react based on what you did? I could see that being the problem, is if the player does something unexpected, how much variance and how much variability you need to build into the AI for that. So I could see that. Now, this was, I think, something that Busted Sim had brought up for one of the earlier chapters, was, hey, you know, the car battery problem, one was underneath the boat. Oh, look! There's something underneath the boat! I was half expecting there to be a car battery underneath the boat. Oh, we're full up on Magnum ammo. Well, okay. That's fine. Come on. Let's go. By the way, just in case you were wondering, I am playing this on the normal difficulty. As you do. So we've got to get to the... Hang on a second. Sorry, Fisher guy. I just got two. We'll skide up the, up past the, doorway there. Now, let us have a chat.
Hey! You there? Wait a minute now, aren't you? You are. You're that scientist chap, Friedman, Fishman, am I right? You must be here to take on the Combine. Not sure what one man can do, but no other reason to visit St. Olga at a time like this. I'll take you to where they made their base, or as far as I can, at any rate.
I forgot to check to see if subtitles were on. Half a second. Things you don't really think to take a look at. Didn't even clue into me until he started talking. I like that Fishman. I'm gonna start calling him that.
Water presents us with a lot of rendering challenges. In fact, we have to render the scene 3 times. Once for the refraction of what's under the water, once for the reflection of everything above the water, and once from the player's view. You can see the reflection and refraction scenes in the 2 small windows on screen. In the refraction, we calculate per pixel how much water you're looking through to do a volumetric underwater fog to simulate particulate matter. For our full HDR solution, we had to go through the entire engine and modify every bit of code that calculated light and color. For example, these water reflection and refraction renderings had to be improved to support the full range of contrast values.
See, something as simple as water, right? You don't...
Here, now, let me just unlock this gate for you. Got the key right here.
Do you, though?
There we go. Get along now, laddie. Destroy that gun and no dawdling.
Yeah, just little things about games you don't really... Oh, I didn't have any suit.
Hurry, lad, get up the path.
Give me a second. Oh, and grenades. What do I have? I'm a shotgun.
Going.
I'm a Magnum. I don't have a pulse rifle yet, so or an automatic thing anymore at all either. Oh, I can't squeeze through there.
There's a path up the cliff. Step lightly now.
But yeah, you don't. It's one of those things. You know, I just play games. I don't make them, but you don't realize how much work goes into them. Well, that's Saint Olga, he said. Oh, there's a church. Nice old Eastern European village. Oh. Where'd he go? Oh, there he went. Oh, he's moving. Vanished. Maybe I should have taken the stealth approach. Me take the stealth approach? Nah. Where's the fun in that? Oh, we've got some... Where the hell is... Oh my god, I got grenaded. Where am I getting... Oh, there I'm getting shot from. Man, am I just not hitting him? There. That's not gone well. Yeah, I got that feeling user death is imminent. I get the feeling we might want to grab... Well... Oh! There's supply crates behind me. I thought there was a pulse rifle there. Did I just blow it to Kingdom Come? Uh-oh. I've already found a way... Yes, so there was a... They're bombarding the town from the top of the cliff here. So we've got to... Yes, I know, you guys think this is a terrible weapon, but... Hey! You got a shotgun. Let me know how that works from range. Now what do I have here? I do have a crossbow. Which is a nice, ranged weapon. Because, we did see the, pulse rifle alt fire, which is... an indicator that we could perhaps have a Combine Elite in the neighborhood. Where was I? Yes, we might have a Combine Elite in the neighborhood. Oh. I got a pulse rifle now. Crap, that was the wrong button. I've been playing so much damned, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 that I just think quick save is on the, oh, right, you. Got him. That for me, like, what was I saying? Oh! I did blow the pulse rifle to Kingdom Come. Yeah, sorry, I just think that, quick save is on the F9. Which, I mean... Oh, and there's my ult. Unfortunately, his weapon stayed up top, I think. So we're not gonna get our hands on that. But yeah, sorry, because the pulse rifle is up top, yeah, because quick save in the other game is on F9, then it's just a muscle memory, right?
The area you're currently entering is called the Cliffside Arena. We were particularly happy with the vertical cliffside in Half-Life 1, and regretted that we didn't iterate further on that concept in Half-Life 2. Vertical space allows us to force the player to deal with threats from above and below. We find that players focus their view on the direction they're traveling, so by using a cliffside and having the player ascend it, we ensure that the player will look up and be prepared for enemies. If the player's path was to move past the bottom of the cliffside, it would be unlikely he would notice soldiers rappelling down from above. And dying from unknown threats never feels fair and certainly isn't fun.
I'm inclined to agree. Okay, that's an interesting design choice then. I can get down with that. So I think that was 7. Yeah, it's the... What was... Oh, we saw something. It looked like it could have been a shell going up, but... Oh, that's not good. Oh, there he is. Where is that? Yes. That's not good. Because whenever they hand you something, like a rocket launcher, that means you know you're in for some shit. We'll set those up on Q. Now Q. That was a single barrel followed by a double barrel. But if we're going to be harassed from close range, then perhaps... Oh, that's one of those repelling lines. Let us clip through the rocks. I think you missed. Oh, no, he didn't. And he dropped something. At least they're assaulting you from below with... There we go. I got him. And we might just back up and pick up their crap. I can see all... I was going to say, actually, draw distance isn't surprising, but it's nice to be able to, like, see the entire world from up top like that. Oh, lots of grenades. And then these guys. Some more weaponry and stuff. It does look very pretty, though, with the HDR on. And that was, I think, this was a technical demo more than, like, a technical demo slash... how to phrase a technical demo slash, you know, like, pickup of lost, you know, filtering and lost, elements of the... Oh, he's doing the splits. Good on him. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm busy gawking at my work and not, do we go up? Do we go around? Oh, if we go around, this is where we... Oh! There we go. This is where we were before. Now, can I make that jump back down? Oh, let's find out. There we go, just like that. That wasn't so bad. And pick up everything that we could possibly need. There we go, that wasn't so bad. It's almost like I'm getting better at this first-person platforming thing after getting killed multiple times in other games. Like, well, Half-Life 2. I like that they gave you that around the corner, just in case it bumps you out. That is actually very handy for someone like me, who has an unnatural propensity for, you know, dying at every potential opportunity. Although it doesn't make me feel any safer around here. Now, we want to go up. We want to go up. And just get my armament set up. So we're going to sneak up. I feel so I'm more well served with a shotgun from here. Oh, we've got another thing in the stairwell here.
One of the features of our HDR solution is dynamic tone mapping. The easiest way to think about dynamic tone mapping is that it's a method of simulating the way the human eye reacts to light. In the real world, you've probably walked into a dark room and noticed your eye adjusting to the darkness, letting you see better after some time. Or you've walked out into a bright day and been blinded by the sun, only to have your eye adjust and allow you to see normally. Your iris is adjusting itself in response to the amount of light hitting your eye. Dynamic tone mapping simulates this by automatically adjusting the exposure of the scene to mimic the behavior of your iris. You can see this as the view moves from the dark tunnel to the bright sun and back again. Here, you can see the way we calculate the amount of light hitting the player's eyes. We'd take a snapshot of the scene, measure the brightness levels, and then use that to adjust exposure. We consider light at the center of the screen more important than at the edges, to better simulate the geometry of the eye.
That's cool. Like, even with the thing, like, right in front of you doing the calculations as you're doing. That's actually, that's neat. But I was going to say, didn't they have something, not quite to this scale, but they had something similar, going from darken and like that, I swear they had that in, like, at least the tunnels in Half-Life. God, did it again! Yeah, great. I've just got a shitty memory is what all I've got. That's my problem. So we've done this before.
One of the features
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Chris. Just F6. If it's that way, I know I've tagged it. I guess I would doubt this has achievements, so we want to go that way, obviously. But I just want to see if there's anything. Another rocket launcher, which scares me. Get some suit and some pulse rifle ammo, which will be handy. Oh, and some more. And some pulse rifle ammo. It's very rare that we see pulse rifle ammo out in the wild, because most of the time when we see pulse rifle ammo, it's actual, like, pulse rifles from dead Combine. So it's unusual in that sense. No, we're not going through that way. There's an idea, but not a good one.
The courtyard in front of you is a space we call an arena. Arenas are built to hold the player for a period of time, and usually contain combat or some other challenge. They often have multiple entry points for enemies, along with a gate of some kind to prevent the player moving on, until the challenge has been completed. In this case, the arena is free of enemies until the player solves a puzzle and triggers an alarm. This is a method that allows the player to explore the arena, and get a sense of its space before being forced to fight in it. It adds a sense of uneasiness to the player, who's expecting to be attacked, now that they've reached the goal set for them at the start of the map. The break in the action here is also a crucial part of the level's pacing. It allows the player to recover and explore the world a little after being attacked on the way up the cliffside.
Okay, because I was actually, like, turning around and see that, it was like, okay, where's the ambush come from? And I thought I heard a voice, too, to be perfectly honest, but... Okay, if we get a chance to explore, we can explore. But it is that old European style of architecture. It's probably something we saw a fair whack in, to an extent, I should say, in the main game proper. But not quite like this. Like, this feels like a different sort of architecture than I would have expected from Half-Life 1. That seemed a little more dystopian than this. And I think it reflects on sort of, like, you got a lot of arches, you've got a lot of pillars and balconies as well. So it's a different styling than, City 17, for example, which is a very urban design center. And I'm trying to remember the architecture for Ravenholm, but it was mostly in the dark. It seemed like more like an industrial town, but I could just be misremembering it. Whereas this, it does seem, old residential coastal tourist town, perhaps, is what I'm kind of getting the vibes from this. And church doesn't hurt that either.
The Source engine supports a wide variety of shaders. The Refraction Shader on the window here requires us to copy the scene to a texture, refract it, and then apply it to the window surface. To fully support HDR, every shader in the engine needed to be updated. So this Refraction Shader was improved to support the full range of contrast. If you viewed the sun through this window, it would be refracted correctly.
It's cool, but at the same time, it's like, is that too much attention to detail? I was gonna say, there I go saying tourist town, and look, there's an industrial zone across the way from us. I mean, it could still be for tourists. They are shelling this awful hard. Oh, shelling? What if they're dropping, well, shells, right? Because the shells have... And we got a few of these in here as well. Subtle music cue. Fitting of a church, I do believe.
We wanted to transition from a bright, wide-open space into a tighter, closed one to showcase HDR's dynamic tone mapping. We also like to focus on contrasting elements in our settings, like ancient human architecture and futuristic combine technology. A monastery fit these requirements perfectly. Monasteries are generally isolated, unlit, and built ages ago. They provide a great backdrop for the contrasting combine technology. When we build fictional settings, we try to ground them by basing them off a real-world location. We use this location as a design constraint that forces a logical consistency behind the art choices.
So a couple of things while I was looking. One, that was one thing I noticed while I was looking around, is I love that it shakes the whole building, and in doing so, shakes the light fixtures. And two, beams of light coming in through. They weren't kidding about the light refracting in through the windows either. I mean, I feel like if I didn't have these, I'd be blitzing through, and I might not slow down and notice a lot of the stuff that they've got in here.
Churches are great dramatic spaces. They're often lit naturally with extremes of darkness and brightness, which makes them a great showcase for HDR. Gothic churches are the sober monochromatic spaces that you've seen in almost every horror movie or game. Byzantine churches, on the other hand, are very colorful and have a large variety of materials. We wanted that color and material variety to show off our HDR reflections.
Sorry, Byzantine isn't something I'm isn't religion. I assume Byzantine is probably part of the Christian family. Well, it's got a cross, Steve. Of course it is. I was gonna say, just logic that one out, Steve-o. But what specific beliefs are there that differentiate from the others, I don't know. Oh. Top up on suit while we're here. Now. Warning, moving parts can crush and cut. Keep hands clear and keep hands and objects clear while operating. I'm trying to see how it does. I just wanted to see how it does operate. Okay, so it loads the thing up into there. Okay. So these look, yeah, they do look kind of like the shells that, I mean, we only see them when they're buried in the ground, right? From the last game. The shells, but yeah, so they're getting loaded in from down under. These are just sort of here. Yeah, they're getting loaded in from down under. And then propelled forward. Alright, so, or propelled upward, I should say. Anyway.
Our games are filled with things we call gates, which are essentially just challenges that the player must overcome to drive the experience forward. We used a puzzle here since the player has been through combat and exploration recently. When we design challenges, we try to ensure that the player's goal and the action required by the player are both fun. It's not hard to create interesting goals for the player, like stopping this machine from shelling the nearby village, but the action required by the player to solve the challenge needs to be fun as well. So instead of something menial, such as hitting an off switch, the player gets to use physics to jam the gun's mechanism and cause it to break.
I was expecting the off switch, to be honest, so we get to use the physics engine to jam the thing. Alright. Yeah, I'm not sure I would have guessed that. I probably would have gone for off switch first, and then I would have gone for explosives, and I don't think jam would have been one of those things I would have thought of. So this thing's already horizontal, so. Nope. I think I've... Oop. Hang on. Uh-oh. There, take that! You bastard! Uh-oh. Everyone back up. Uh-oh. 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 That was a toxic one. That was... There's 3 of them, weren't there? Where'd the other one go? What? Oh, they're shooting at me through the glass. There's... Okay, so we've lost a... You're not very smart, are you? Oh. Oh, they're coming in through the door. Oh, I love that smoke. Okay, let's maybe find a spot back here. Oh, let him do something stupid. All right. Oh, there's clever girl. Where are you guys dropping this shit from? There's someone up there. Obviously, I just can't see him. Somebody is dropping stuff on me from above. I just can't see where they are dropping shit on me from above. Get a quick reload in. Oh. Oh. Where are they? They're using the verticality to their... So they're using verticality to their advantage. Oh, okay. There's 2. Ah, it didn't make it all the way down here. Now, it sounds like there was another one coming from over here, but I can't spot anyone. Also, we're gonna need to clear the path. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have done that. Just fire it haphazardly up into the air and see what happens when it comes out. No, not a good idea. Oh! Side door. Well, from here. When in, not Rome. Drain the last of that. Yeah, there's a level to be played here, and I'm just totally not doing it. I'm just kind of looking around.
This marks the end of the Lost Coast tour. This has been an experiment on our part to see if our community would find it interesting to learn more about our development process. As always, we're interested in your feedback. I can be reached at gaben, Gaben, at valvesoftware.com. If people like this, we'll keep producing this kind of content for all of our games going forward. Thanks for listening.
I'm assuming Gaben got a lot of emails from doing this, right? I feel like I missed some stuff, though. I don't think I got everything. Maybe I did, and I just wasn't paying attention. I just was not keeping count. Just out of curiosity. I don't see... Sorry, I just popped on over to... into the Steam overlay. And I don't see anything that suggests that there was a... any achievements, so I don't know. It seems like the sort of thing that they would include as a little achievement is, Oh, right! You! Oh, you're a chopper, not a gunship. Okay, maybe not. Oh, okay. We're just gonna keep moving. Oh. I think he shot that one down. We're gonna spiral it in. And again, I don't know if we're getting... That, got it. Oh, shit! Oh, God. He even dented some of the stuff here. It's like, man, he just ran head first into it. He kamikazed at me. He was not gonna go down He's gonna go down if he was gonna do that, he was gonna try and take me with him. Now, this obviously is not the end of the level. The question is, where the hell do I go from here? I don't like that drop. Where do I go from here? There's what's left of him. I don't think I'd survive that fall. I mean, it could just be me, but I don't think that is a survivable fall. It certainly wasn't for him. Oh, I can't go back this way. Maybe I do go down. Uh-oh. I've been defeated by the end of a video. Oh, Jesus. No, there's gotta be... Hang on, hang on. There's a, okay. I was gonna say there's a thing there. That looks promising. Nope. We're going down. Oh, hang on. That was a signpost to tell me you go down via this. Oh, Christ. This isn't fun. This is not fun. Who decided this was a good idea? And then you go down into the lift like this. Okay. That was a jump. How lost is this coast? Well, there's nothing out that way as far as the eye can see. I assume that's where he would have come into town if it was part of a level, or where we would have come out of town. I know, yes, we started over.
You did it, lad. Come on with me to St. Olga. We'll celebrate this victory with a feast. I hope you like leeches.
Ugh.
Hey, where you going?
I'm coming right here, old man.
You're getting fuzzy around the edges.
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess you got other places to be. Nice knowing ya.
I guess that is the Valve equivalent to have a nice life to end. Bye, you're leaving, have a nice life. Oh, well, yeah, that is Half-Life Lost Coast. In the books in the pocket and out of sight. It's fun doing it with the commentary there. Yeah, okay, gave away the end to the big puzzle there. Okay, so... but it's still interesting learning, like, you know, you think, like... You know, turning on HDR is just something that kind of goes and blankets itself in. Instead, they gotta go rebuild a whole bunch of stuff to work and take advantage of the HDR, and also getting to hear a bit about the process of how they lay out a level. And I guess you can kind of pick those things up as you actually play. You know, things with, okay, you've had a bunch of combat, so now let's, you know, give you a little break. Let's let you explore, or let's do a puzzle. And then that gets the combat, how they make you uneasy, and it works on me. Things like, what was the other thing that I liked in there was, oh, right, with the cliffs, and talking about how we use the cliffs to make you look up. And oh, by the way, here comes the attack from above as well. Little tricks like that. So, no, it's neat to see how they kind of, how it all gets put together and what they're thinking of when they design certain things. I kind of wish they would have had something like this for Half-Life 2 proper. I mean, that would have been an immense amount of work because of, how big that game is. But even if you had, a couple of commentaries for the whole chapter as opposed to, over a dozen for a chapter, something like, I look at, the way I broke up the episodes and I had, 3 or 4 episodes a chapter, something like, if you had 3 or 4 talking points a chapter, you could still get a lot out of that at that point in time, just the same way. It'd be nice that way. I mean, it wasn't, maybe, I was going to say there's probably something out there if I go looking. There's probably lots of developers explaining, we designed this for this reason, we designed that with this in mind. So, yeah, actually, this was quite fascinating, and I quite like that behind the scenes look. And the chapter itself, it looked gorgeous. I love the design of the city and the cathedral, and this is all really well done and felt so very different than a lot of what we saw, or at least what I remember seeing in Half-Life 2 proper. So it would have been nice to see, and I know this was a removed portion of the game removed from Highway 17, but it would have been interesting to see, would it have looked the same? I don't mean the HDR, but I mean the actual design of the city. Would it have been the same in Half-Life 2 proper if it had been included there, or would it have been more in line with what we saw in some of the other cities and villages as we went along? But yeah, I think that will do it for Half-Life 2 Lost Coast, the 2019 Unsilent Christmas Special. But until we see you again in the new year for more Half-Life 2, coming up at some point in the new year, got episodes 1 and 2 to do, coming up in 2020. But until we see you again, I'm Unsilent. Thanks very much for joining me. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you are new. Share on social media. Follow on social media. The social media handle is Unsilent on air, and that is for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. Don't forget you can check out more Half-Life and Half-Life 2 in the playlists there on the screen in the description down below, and more videos anytime on the channel page. And until the next time, I'm Unsilent. Thanks very much for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time.